amazing feeling. You know, here he is, built his own runway. There he is, foot dragging his own runway that he's working on. That has to be cool. Cool thing to do, Larry.
So have you ever given the thought to buying a piece of property that was big enough that you could fly your paramotor from your own yard or your airplane from your own runway? Well, Larry's doing it. A pretty amazing project. I finally got down there to visit him yesterday, and we spent quite a bit of time talking about his project, and we got out and got a flight in and came back and talked about his project some more. He's got big plans for the PPG community and for the light sport and small airplane general aviation community in central South Carolina. He's going to utilize this property to include camping. Well, I'll let him tell you.
These that ran from the driveway over that way towards the telephone pole.
Yeah.
On the other side of the telephone pole. Just to the left of the telephone pole, down there where that piece of construction equipment is, there was a line of trees that ran up this way and back behind that stand, and another line of trees that ran parallel to the property line clear back into the corner, and then there was another stand that ran and connected the two there. It was 10 acres of timber.
No kidding.
So that's all gone. 99% of the stumps have been pulled, and I've been running that little tractor.
Yeah, I saw you on Facebook running that thing, yeah.
With a device behind it that it's just a giant piece of steel. It's a poor man's road grader.
Very cool.
So I've been grading from clear down there in the corner where the end of the runway will be, up through here and clear down to the far end where the other end of the runway will be.
And it'll be 2,300 feet?
Yeah, by about 60-ish.
So my place up there in Lexington is 3,000. But we have trees every bit as tall as those on both ends of the runway.
Yeah. Well, if you walk out here, you can see.
Come on, puppy. Come on.
Come on, guys. You can see I'm using the tallest trees. In fact, I don't know if it was you or somebody else asked me, what about the tall trees at the end of the runway?
No, that wasn't me.
No. And I said, well, they're a great landmark to use as a center.
Sure.
For grading the runway. I mean, geez, you know. So yeah, see the tallest pine tree?
Yep.
There's actually two of them right there, and a couple of gum trees too, and they're going to come out, and a couple gum trees right on the property line also.
Yeah,
right there.
Nobody likes those. I cut down two in my yard.
Oh, they're horrible.
They're just absolutely the worst tree that's ever been cursed the planet.
I agree. So I still got 3 piles to burn. There were 17. There's still a lot of debris, and I'm not going to worry about that debris down there probably for another 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Have you got a dozer? Is any of this equipment other than the blue tractor yours?
No, and it's $150 an hour, so
Yeah.
I have them
Doing the hard work and then
doing the hard work judiciously and quickly and whatever. But the guys were kind enough to loan me that disc, so I'm gonna have the disc to use for months.
Will that tractor tow it?
Should. It's only a 5-footer.
Yeah, okay.
You know.
I guess can you set the depth on it so you're not going down?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I've never used a disc before, so this right here is the edge of the runway.
Yeah.
Like right here.
Yeah.
You can get you can see the line down there where I've already towed quite a bit.
Yep.
And then follow it clear to the trees.
Very cool.
So about from here over to where this pile of debris is.
Well, this is way more space than you need to fly a paraglider.
Mm-hmm.
So what, do you have
I have a 1946 Stinson.
Do you?
Yeah. That I'll eventually have in a hangar over there you can between the two pieces of equipment, you can see telephone pole over there,
Sure.
and there's water there also. So
Nice.
I'll have a hangar right there in the woods that faces the runway. So when you step out of the hangar, you can see both ends of the runway.
The Stinson, is that got a Franklin engine in it?
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, well,
150.
I know my way around aviation.
Yeah. Yep.
So, did I not hear you say you were going to try to put in campsites too?
Oh yeah. Straight back behind the tractor, that stand of woods back there.
Yeah.
There, a little bit to the left, and all the way around to the right. You can't really tell from here, but the road to the campground will follow the property line all the way down,
Okay.
curve around the end of the runway, and it just makes a big, lazy, like a third of a circle back into that one lone tree right to the right of the tractor sticking up back there.
Yeah.
That's where the campground will be. So I'll start with 10 full hookups and 10 non-hookups, and I can go all the way around, clear out just in the edge of the forest there, and make 25 non-hookups if I want.
Very cool.
And then big
cool.
pond right behind the house, and down at that end down there by the tall trees, there's another small pond.
Huh.
Small, it's 265 by 30.
So, what's the takeoff performance on the Stinson? I'm guessing probably 800 feet.
Yeah, here at sea level, yeah.
Yeah.
A breeze like this, you know,
Yeah, 600 feet,
usually
yeah.
mostly coming out of the south,
Sure.
southeast.
Sure.
From down there at the end, I'd be off by this first brush pile, you know. But this will probably end up being one way in, one way out.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Well, we get south winds most of the time in South Carolina.
Here I don't. In the
No?
summertime, from the American flag straight across 90 degrees.
How about that?
So you're 90 degrees crosswind in or out. So it's a wash, which is fine, you know.
Those power lines are a challenge, aren't they?
Don't hit them.
Yeah.
The runway, in fact, you can see an orange. I've got an orange target hung on the fence down there, down low. That's the end of the runway, and that's about 250 feet on the other side of the power lines.
Oh, okay.
No matter what you're flying, if you turn around down there and give it full power and come this way, you're not going to hit the power lines. You'd be lucky to have your tail off the ground by then, for a tail dragger.
I don't want to upset Larry's neighbors here, but I'm going to come back and see how Larry does on his takeoff. There's he got a good inflation, very nice. Nice controlled wing, he's headed toward the windsock, pretty much the same trajectory I took. And he is in the air. Oh, we got a gaggle. At least a two-ship, we got a two-ship, how's that sound? The Roadster too. Haven't seen that wing since Jeff Dean was flying one. I don't think he knows I'm back here. Or maybe he does. What a pretty place, man. There's nothing out here. You ain't bothering anybody with the paramotor here. That much is for certain.
We're
no
on
go
the-
around.
We're on the sectional chart. Do you have plans to let the FAA know what you're doing here? Have you talked to anybody up at the Columbia FSDO? Or?
Dave Smith, is that his name?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, I talked to him before I even got here, before I bought the place. We are 3.1 miles from the Allendale
From
Airport.
Allendale, yeah.
And state of South Carolina says you have to be 3 miles or further.
To not worry about
No
getting
permits, no
approval.
nothing. Just scratch out a runway and do what you want.
So,
But yes, I'll have the FAA come in at some point in time.
yeah, if you're going to have a lot of parachute operations,
I'm
or
not.
paraglider
Yeah,
operations,
paraglider operations and fly-ins.
it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to have it on the section
Yeah,
chart. Yeah.
It's good to have friends, man. Get out and make some. If you're not a friendly kind of guy, you're missing it, because you meet people like Larry, and they'll share their world with you. It's just about 2 miles, maybe a mile and a half west of Larry's place. They have got do not trespass signs 2 solid miles around this plant. I don't know what's so secretive about processing pulpwood, but they probably think they own the security, fenced in barbed wire parking lot for the employees. Man, they are serious about their Pulpwood security. Peanuts. That's what that is, a peanut gathering place by the train carload.
And the other thing is, once the FAA comes in and they deem it a public use airport, even though it's privately owned, the fine print pertaining to public use airports is just like when you go to Disneyland or go skiing or something like that.
Liability, and
The liability is not on the owners of the property, it's on you.
So,
and I would make people sign a waiver anyway.
Ours, I'll tell you what happened to ours.
I think I'm done. I'm cold. I think I've done all that I care to do for today. Coming in here to land.
I was flying a crippled wing.
Were you? I didn't even notice.
Busted line.
Oh, man.
The right front A line broke sometime. It wasn't broken the last flight.
Huh.
It might have broken after takeoff, but it was broken. It cascades to 3 different points.
Yeah. I didn't even notice it.
No, you could hardly tell. But I looked up and...
It stayed pressurized.
Oh yeah, well, the great thing is...
Look at that. Now that's something you don't see every day.
Nope.
So keep an eye on Larry. He's a good guy to know. He's very ambitious. He's been working on this project for almost 2 years now, and kind of rearranged his entire life to make it happen. He's going to have some events coming up, probably in the pretty near future. He's planning on doing 1 PPG training session a month, 1 major fly-in event a month, and 2 of those throughout the year will be PPG events with camping and all the amenities that we like in the PPG world. As the grass grows in on this place, it's going to be spectacular. Like I said, you'll see from flying around, there's not a whole lot of neighbors to bother. 1 horse farm that we saw about, I don't know, 1.5 miles south of the property or so. I'd not want to spook the horses, but all the other neighbors are few and far between. There's quite a few outs. Once you get some altitude, there's some outs. There's not immediate outs around the property for takeoff and landing, but once you're up in the air, cross countries are very, very doable. And this is quite a gem that Larry's trying to create. Larry's last name is Shumard. You might reach out to him on Facebook. If you're traveling from the Northeast down to Florida, for instance, this is the perfect 6, 7, 8 hour stopping spot from Central Florida. So you Pennsylvania residents, you New Jerseyites, and mid East Coasters that want to break up your drive to Florida, get in a little flying, get in a reasonable night's camping. Once he's up and running, which probably isn't going to be immediately here, he doesn't have the campsites improved just yet, but eventually it'll be a good halfway stopping point. And I'm reluctant to let you in on that because I want to go camp there myself and I don't want to have to fight the crowds. But this is going to be a very good thing for paramotoring. A couple of years ago, one of the bigger fly-in promoters said, "Hey guys, we need to have more people creating event space and paramotor fly-in event hosting." Well, this is the guy doing it, so not sure what he took his clues from, but he's ambitious and his goals for the future here are fantastic. So take care.